Hi, everybody. I'm Thomas Lamb. I'm CEO of Myriad Uranium Corp, CSE listed, co-listed in the US and Frankfurt. We are a uranium explorer. We have a 75% earnable interest in the Copper Mountain project in Wyoming. And we're also exploring in Niger, right adjacent to some of the best uranium deposits in Africa, Immerern and Global Atomics DASA.
Absolutely. Hey, well, let's start with the new news, which is obviously Copper Mountain project in Wyoming. Wyoming, very, very popular at the moment, it seems. US uranium back on the agenda. So tell us about how you picked up the asset.
In the summer, obviously, there was a coup in Niger. We started looking for alternatives, so ways to pivot a bit, and we got extremely lucky. I've known the CEO of Rush Rare Metals, which your viewers should take a look at, for many years. They have a project in Quebec, an exciting niobium/uranium project. They have this Copper Mountain, Wyoming project that was their second project. They didn't really know a ton about it. They had a 43-101 on it done in March of this year. And we decided to do a deal on it. Both sides knew it was going to be pretty interesting. We didn't know how interesting. So we signed a letter of intent to earn up to 75%. Pete Smith is the CEO of Rush Rare Metals. I've known him for a few decades.
Right.
Tell us
about the structure, though, Tom. I'm sort of intrigued. 75% earn, and what are you obliged to do, and over what time?
Sure. So over 4 years, we have to spend $5.5 million. There's a upfront cash, 135,000 Canadian, plus about $100,000 in shares. We've already paid that, 560,000 shares of Myriad. And then first year, we issue them $150,000 in Myriad shares. Second year, $250,000 in Myriad shares. So it's $500,000 worth of Myriad shares, $135,000 in cash up front. And we have to spend a total of $5.5 million. And then as we advance, if there's a PEA, PFS, we issue $2.5 million worth of Myriad shares to Rush. And then there's a big kicker if we produce in the end. The first $50 million in net profit is split 50-50, as opposed to the ratio of whether we're 50% or 75% owners at that point.
Gotcha. Okay. What now? So that's the finances. Now explain what you got for that. What do you know? What did you inherit in terms of data or reports or otherwise?
So when we signed the letter of intent late summer, we saw that it was 1,900, just under 2,000 acres of uranium exploration claims in center of Wyoming, and a 43-101 that said this is a historic producer, 500,000 pounds, and there are several uranium mines that produced in the 50s and 60s. And there was a huge amount of work was done by Rocky Mountain Energy, which was a subsidiary of Union Pacific. The 43-101 said, go find historic data if you can, because then you might be able to do all sorts of, discover all sorts of amazing things. We signed the letter of intent. Rush Rare Metals, the CEO, Pete Smith, was driving through rural Wyoming, encountered a rancher. Rancher said, come and take a look at the data, have a cup of coffee, maybe it would interest you. Pete took a look. It was extremely interesting. They acquired it, and I could say that we acquired it. We went back, letter of intent, due diligence phase, went through all this data, our technical people did too, and it was a real treasure trove. So here's what we have, which this has turned into a fabulous deal. Historic resource estimates done by the top geologists at the time, again, subsidiary of Union Pacific, 15 to 30 million pounds of uranium in historic resource estimates. There are 5 and now maybe 6 uranium deposits in this area. So it's different combinations of these deposits or the uranium deposits and resources were estimated. And with a potential resource for just accounting for 2 or including 2 of the 5 deposits of up to 63.8 million pounds of uranium, according to these historic documents. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned, Rocky Mountain Energy spent $74 million US in today's dollars exploring and developing this. We discovered that. 2,000 drill holes. We discovered that. A mine plan. They planned a mine. They built a leach pad. We're about to start production in 1979. We discovered that. We discovered in the data that the ore is highly leachable. The studies show at least 92% recovery, above 96% in some of the test work, et cetera. Discovered it might be ISR amenable. There's lots of comments about that. Even our experts today say there's reasons for optimism. Discovered that. So it's a very exciting project. Huge exploration upside. Also contained in the documents, lots of suggestions and reasons to be excited. High-grade areas that have not been followed up. Lots of other things.
Okay, so basically, I say amenable. Well, that's Wyoming, and I think people would expect it to be. In a way, you kind of got a lot of peers that people can reference in terms of valuations, what they've done, how much they've spent to get there. And I think you mentioned someone in the document said you're going to explore the potential for open pitable if it did go that way as well. Now, all of it is going to require cash, money. Where are you guys at? Will you be going out and raising money for this?
We'll be raising more money. Obviously there was a coup in Niger in the summer and in late July that knocked us down along with all of our peers. We actually have done a little better maybe than some of the others. So we got very lucky with this Wyoming project, which is now our focus. So we have a few $100,000. We have enough. We don't spend much every month, and we can run lean. But yes, we'll be raising money. Absolutely. Probably keep it, we, as you know, we only have 29 million shares out approximately. We like to keep dilution way down to a minimum. And so we like to issue efficiently and spend efficiently. So we'll raise more money. Not exactly sure how much. And
right. And I guess the question is, I guess that'll be turned by, what for? You've kind of got all this historic data. Do you feel that you're going to have to do like a proper assessment of that data and sort of come up with a plan, a drill plan? Yeah. Okay.
So we have historic resource estimates. Those need to be brought current. In order to do that, we want to acquire more. We have some of the drill logs, the historic drill logs relating to the 2,000 drill holes. We need more. We're in the process of finding those drill logs. And the more we get, the more likely we were going to be able to bring our resource estimates current. So that is, I would say that's priority one. We're looking for more data. We have lots of good leads. Bring the historic resource current. And there's all sorts of other interesting things we're going to be doing too.
Right. Okay. I'm making all sorts of assumptions here because I'm in the sense that we've spoken to quite a few other Wyoming ISR uranium explorers and soon to be producers in the shape of Peninsula, not so far away from you. Is that I'm making assumptions about it's a certain type of grade, it's a certain type of cost structures, etc. Is that is that the way you've kind of looked at it yourselves in terms of trying to get a sense of what you could be building here?
The resource estimates focus on the central North Canning deposit, and your viewers can look at maps and things. That's one of the 5 or 6 deposits. That's a low grade deposit. The plan, Rocky Mountain's plan, was to do conventional mining there and then mine the satellite deposits and then leach it. They built a leach pad. I think I mentioned that. The grades there are fairly low. They're just a few hundred ppm, really. But they intersected, the drilling intersected lots of high grade too, 500 ppm up to 8,000 ppm. And there are satellite areas with, they had lots of nice intersections, 1,500 ppm and higher. So first question is, what do we do regarding, the plan? Do we want to add high grade and follow those areas up in order to increase grade, maybe significantly increase grade, and then increase volumes in those areas? Do we want to basically firm up and bring a resource current in the central area with the low grade? So that there are 2 potential plans. One is conventional mining and heap leach it. It's highly amenable, as I just mentioned. Recovery is well into the 90s. And then what if in situ recovery works? Some of our comps, Cameco has Smith Ranch. I mean, our grades are sort of comparable. They've got think it's their inferred resource is 17 million pounds. This means a huge grades around ours, really nice ISR deposit. If we are ISR amenable and we are able to establish that, then that changes the plan completely. Obviously, we, this was production ready in 1979. If this turns out this is ISR amenable, then we can go with what we've got.
Right. Okay. Now, again, the other thing I'm sort of leaping to conclusions about is the way that investors, can view you, can treat this. You're sitting at, sort of around $5 million market cap today with an asset in Niger, which, as you say, is in a very interesting location between two giants, as it were. It has no real value as far as the market is concerned at the moment, because the situation in Niger is only starting to become somewhat clear with the announcement recently about the global atomic funding. But you're getting no value for that. So do I treat this as almost like a startup situation? It's 5 million market cap.
Yeah.
You're in Wyoming. North American agenda for critical minerals and energy sufficiency is well known. It's very, very clear. You're going to get values in the same way that a bundle of other junior explorers in North America are. Would you expect? Am I leaping to conclusions?
So, I view this as pretty interesting because we have, a good hand, but with some big kickers. We've got, if things clarify in Niger in a good way, we have really highly valuable exploration assets there. So that's a big kicker. If we are successful, we find these drill logs or other data. There are hundreds of boxes of data produced by Rocky Mountain, and we're working on it. And we're able to bring these historic resources current. We will have current resources of many millions of pounds of uranium. If you look at our comps, we're going to reflect really, compare really well to our Wyoming comps. And so that could happen. That can happen very cheaply because it'd be not expensive to acquire the data, presumably, and to get the calculations done. Not that expensive. Maybe we'll have to drill a few holes to twin some historic holes, put our own, uncap some holes and put our own probes down to confirm, depending on what kind of data we have. So this is a massive leverage kind of, gearing. I don't know how you want to put it. We can really go, whatever the multiple is. We for not very much spending, we can potentially give that return to our shareholders.
Okay, and so in terms of timing, all of this, obviously, going and reinterpreting data is, as I say, it's cheap, but does it take a while to do? When should I be looking back in and go, well, actually, they have confirmed what they thought they had, or they've got a better sense of what they have now? When's that start? When's it finish?
Well, we're working right now on the data. I would say starting in January, we'll be digitizing the historic data, which is part of it is Greek to me. We've got a lot of it. Digitize, build our 3D models, and then add what data we find. All that whole process is going to start over the next. Will be ongoing over the next several months. As soon as we have news, for example, acquire the data we need, or we have some interpretations, or we've discovered new things, we'll be telling the world about it. Those will be big, and these things will be very significant. Each thing that's to come is going to be pretty exciting, I think. Yeah.
Okay, and just going to finish off on Tom, if you don't mind. Give me a reminder of what have you done in the exploration and mining space before? What's your background track record?
Yeah, I'm a corporate lawyer and finance guy by background. I started a company called Gold Group in 2005 with a friend. We were the two young guys, so we built it up. It ended up having a nice IPO, a couple $100 million. It was a gold producer. I moved to Europe. I was on the board of Russia's second largest gold producer called Uzhhorod-Zolota. At the time, it was second largest. Maybe now it's fourth. Don't talk about Russia as much anymore, of course. I then started a project generator in East Africa. One of the companies we built was called M2 Cobalt. I was on the board and founder, et cetera. We sold that to Jervois Global. I was an executive with Jervois after the sale. That was a really great deal. And of course, Jervois had billion or $2 billion market cap, et cetera. It was doing extremely well for a while there. And so as part of that, I've been on the boards of other companies, executive of other companies. So I've had some wins, built some companies. Those are some of the things I've done. Yeah, people can check me out on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, Tom. Look, appreciate this is just hey, we're in North America, we've got something, and we've got a bunch of data to kind of get through. So I would appreciate if you kind of stay in touch, let us know what you're starting to see as you build up this digital footprint of yours. Because uranium's in a hot space at the moment, lots of interest, lots of need, certainly in North America. So I appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted. Talk soon. Thank you.